I've got Act 3 then to do with Embrace and Resist.
Anyway, this is Star Trek. So the last like half of that sentence went through to YouTube. Don't worry about it. It makes sense in context. Someone's resisting.
I've been playing Baldur's
Gate.
Gate 3.
Yes. So you finished your murder one?
No, I've still got Act 3 to go with my Embrace as well, and doing it at the time.
Who does 2 playthroughs at the same time?
What
kind of crazy person behavior is this? Right, look, whatever. We're watching Star Trek Prodigy. It's a new show. And since last week, I said I was going to finish it, and I did. I've now seen all of Prodigy.
Hey!
The back half of season 2 was a lot stronger, I felt, than the first third, I guess. First third, I kind of didn't really care at all. Got more interesting later.
Yeah.
Jarings, have you seen all of Prodigy?
I haven't.
Oh.
Just season 1.
It is a great show. Season 2 features a return of a very popular and important character.
Ah. Rock Talk.
No, Janeway.
Ah, yes, of course.
Those, and the other guy, who I don't care about.
You don't care about it? Well, to be fair, he didn't really care either. At least originally.
I don't care about him because I don't care about the actor. I don't like the actor.
What did he do?
He's a bit of an arsehole in terms of specific groups of people.
Oh God, what, Robert? What have you done? I'm not keeping up on your antics.
Specifically autistic people, and another group of people as well. But the one I remember at the top of my head is autistic.
All right, whatever. He's not in this season. All right, Star Trek Prodigy. So the first episode, well, this is something I don't like that shows do. It's called episodes 1 and 2, but it's just one episode that's twice as long. Why would they call it episodes 1 and 2? Don't have to just call it episode 1. Whatever. All right.
I think it's for the runtime because they used to have like TV stations that ran commercials.
Just call it episode 1. It can just be twice as long.
They would have to go to commercial break based on that.
Well, on Netflix, it is separated into 2 episodes.
Oh, well, that's going to be
No,
confusing.
it's not. It's not separated into 2 episodes. I think Ryan's totally... There's others that are. Like, there's a...
Okay,
interesting.
Here's
the
UK
version has it separated.
For anyone who's watching along with their own copy, I have a version that's one single episode that's 45 minutes and 3 seconds. Hopefully whatever version you have matches that, because if not, I don't know what to tell you. I can't.
You just have to swap to the next episode very quickly.
Gotta go fast.
I don't think there's an intermission. I think it just flows in. But anyway.
If you're on Netflix, it should just automatically, if you press the next episode button, go straight to the start of the second episode.
And then we'll have a recap, though? And
it should skip.
Titles?
If you press the next episode button, it should skip.
What about the opening titles, though?
Yeah,
I don't know off the top of my head.
It's a first world problem.
Yeah, it depends how it's set up in the episode itself.
So I couldn't decide for what we watch after Prodigy between not Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks and
Picard.
I was like, I don't need to decide. There's a new thing coming out that fits very well into the Discovery era we were just on. So we're going to do Section 31 movie after Prodigy. It will have been out for a few weeks by that point. I think like a month and a half, actually, by the time we get there. Assuming it exists, of course.
You're still a doubter.
The NSA was such a secret agency that whenever you asked somebody what it was, they would just say no such agency.
Yeah, that's fun that, the NSA got exposed for being, evil, and then nobody cared. That was cool.
Hey.
All right, everybody press play in Prodigy in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
We get some really good voice actors on this show.
At least 2 of them are from The Good Place.
There's some
We've also
really
got Clone Wars actor who plays the creature animal thingy that doesn't talk, just makes noises.
Oh, D. Bradley Baker is Murph.
Yes.
I didn't even know he was Murph. I just know Clone Wars guy, it's D. Bradley Baker. He also plays the Grave Mind in Halo 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm. Damn, D. Bradley Baker is such a good actor to be able to voice
There's a
all
Marie.
of those clones who have a very similar voice, which make each of the clones, or main
You can
clones
tell them
anyway,
apart.
have a slightly different voice. Yeah.
Trickery. All right, here's the main character. We found
Yep.
him. I'm still sort of confused about his backstory because I just kind of forgot what he was. He's just
It's
a
never
human, right?
fully explained.
so his alien lineage, we don't know what alien species he is, which becomes integral to the plot at the end of the season.
Wait,
Yes.
how
We never.
did Zero just disappear like that? Where did she go? It wasn't even
They-
fully opaque. She
they
just
just-
teleported.
Yeah. They just went behind the thing, or whatever. I don't know.
Just to mess with him.
I like his nickname, which is Tailbutt.
Awesome that I see this just as it airs. Laughing face.
That's a nice evil robot.
Yep.
Fugitive Zero. Oh, is that evil robot? No, I was going to say, is that a cape? No, it's a cloak. That's pretty good too. There's D.
Yep. Murph.
I always feel weird when maybe this is weird that I feel weird when children in a show are voiced by actual children. Usually,
Yeah.
if you're playing Baldur's Gate 3 to go back, you go talk to a child. It's like, no, that's a grown woman voicing a child.
Yeah.
Right. And it goes back as early as Bart Simpson. I was like floored when I found out that like it's
Fugitive
grown
Zero.
woman.
Fugitive Zero. That's terrorism. You monster.
So
Big Star Wars vibes off that antagonist.
Yeah, I could see him as an Imperial droid.
Yeah.
for sure, the whole thing is
Grievous.
very Clone Wars kind of motif because obviously Star Wars Clone Wars is the best animated sci-fi.
A little bit of telepathy going on. So one thing I really like about this prison colony, I always say I appreciate practical villains. I really like that they forbid them from having translators, just to keep
Yes.
them separate.
Prevents them from unionizing and working together. It is really,
Yes.
really good.
I mean, is that how Amazon and Starbucks do it?
The one thing
I
I don't
mean, I
like
wouldn't
that's going
put
to be
it past them, to be honest.
one thing I don't like through the whole series. I'm not really keen on this animation style, but I don't want to harp on it. I just want to note it.
You know, okay. Style aside, I think they did a great job because this is a pilot, mind you. So you have a lot of work to do during the pilot. You have
No,
to make
that's
us
a captain.
introduce the. You have to make us. You have to introduce us to the characters. You have to make us like the characters.
Derek.
And I believe they successfully did all that.
So I will be referring to Jenkum Pog as Derek throughout the entire run of this show, just so you're aware. Derek, of course, being the character he plays
Rocktark,
in The Good
you
Place.
are bold one.
Oh,
Hmm.
he's also going to be on the next season of Taskmaster, apparently. Which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it's probably fine. Oh, that's not even that bad. It has one little piston. That's fine.
That's three. Let's trust this site.
It's a weirdly inefficient Rebel Crusher, though. Also, don't understand how he survived that. He should be very dead.
Yeah, just crush the back ends of it. It's fine.
He exploded. Ooh, he's got a Darth Vader tank. I forgot about the Darth Vader tank.
Yep.
Wait, there's a... Now there's an orb. I guess he doesn't know how far away space is, just in general.
Well, there
Well-
was the accelerator, or whatever it is, that's getting the rubble out.
Okay, but
But
like that's
when
not
the
going
rock's
to take
out
you to
of
the
it.
next star system. You're just going to be floating in the void.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But at least
He
if you
doesn't know
achieved
anything
orbital,
about space at this point.
if you achieved orbital velocity, you could just kick your way to the next star system.
Yeah, in like 500,000 years.
Yeah.
Just keep kicking like a goldfish, like a doggy paddle.
Oh, wait, she's got a cape. Oh, this cat. They make a big deal about the cat, but it never really comes up again, does it?
No, okay. So
Like
this is
episode
again.
2.
This is why I really like this pilot, because I really like how they made it for kids. Because do you remember the Rock character? He has like a really growly voice. I don't know if it's a girl.
Rock Talk
but
is a lady, yes.
Thank you. Sorry. So Rock Talk has has like a really growly voice, but it turns out it's a little kid. So here too, we live in like this cruel galaxy where like kids are used in mines, which by the way used to happen like about 150 years ago.
Also,
So
you can
this is
tell
why.
that this prison system is run by... I mean, I talked up their efficiency, but the fact that they're relying on a Kazon kind of brings down my opinion of them.
Yeah.
When did she learn to speak cat?
She learns a lot of languages.
So
Because she doesn't have
Keisha-
much else to do.
I realized Cation, that's this species that we're bringing up, which is featured in original series and movies, I believe. But yeah, her father traffics children.
Ah,
So-
murder droid, human cyborg relations. He is fluent in over 3 million forms of communication.
In fact, it's her father making her learn these languages and translate.
Wow, that's going to be so
plan which
convenient
is
for the
already
plot in
broken
about
for
10
you.
minutes.
Yeah, love Ella Purnell in this. Because it was her.
Welcome, my apprentice.
It is very Star Wars.
Well, something interesting. He says that they're the last of their kind. So
Standard,
he's
that's
kind
what
of
they call it
doing.
in Star Wars.
He's kind of doing it out of, genetic survival. Whatever his evil schemes are. He's only kind of evil.
Do they never refer to it as Federation standard elsewhere?
They do.
feel like I've heard
They
that before.
absolutely do.
They do.
Yeah.
In fact, in my high school notebooks, I would label my English class section of the binder Federation Standard.
Nice.
Thanks for laughing, because I was that lame. The name isn't even that great of a name. What's the name of your language? Just the standard language.
It's just called that so that
Yeah,
they
but it
don't
means
have
that
to refer to it as English and
Yeah.
and then change it to Spanish for the Spanish translation, and then change it to German for the German translation.
that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that.
Leave it. There are a few times where they do refer to it by English.
Yeah, T'Pol does, I remember.
Tom Paris does.
Tom Paris is into retro stuff, so
Yeah, true.
it's kind of in character for him.
It'd be like I had a gym teacher who used to call our language Anglo-Saxon. It was so annoying because the first couple of times someone does it, you have no idea what
About
they're
that,
talking.
I
So-
love both of those characters though. They're so well used.
I'm thinking about how they should handle Fugitive Zero. Because, like, they seem more trouble than they're worth, so you should maybe just kill them. But also, how? How do you
Yeah.
kill a Medusan?
Yeah. Also, by the way, I noticed what they were originally using the Medusan for was to like torture people Star Wars style, with like
Yes.
the transform. But they take like a Morn character and they make him mute. I was like, oh my god, that's so cruel. Because his eyes go white, and later he's
Mhm.
pushing the door that guards the prison, the circular door, the drawbridge thing. So
At least Al gets a nice break from the hard labor. That's always nice.
Yeah.
yeah, so they are basically using children in minds, and they have no scruples about it.
Hey, the children are free. You can just take them
Mhm.
home.
He's not a nice guy in this
They-
version of the timeline.
The Kazon even says like we ran out of orphans and
See,
other
there
helpless
are
people.
the discount species. If they were Klingons, the Klingons would have just made more orphans.
Yeah, true.
Prisoner, it's me, your girlfriend.
What I wanted to say beside the voice actors, I love that we get a lot of Voyager sound effects because I think no one gives you that error message more than the Voyager computer being like no way Jose. So I love seeing that it came up here.
It's true. Yeah. There is
So-
interesting that they use the English line for that because, or an English word for that because it'd obviously be something different in his language.
Is his language English?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, that's true. They do talk
Actually,
to
no,
each other, so he must be
does
speaking
come
English.
from Federation space, so he might actually just speak Federation standard.
We don't see his tail, right?
He has
Because
a
his nickname
tail?
is Tailbutt. His nickname's Tailbutt. That's what like all the others call him. I guess because he has a tail coming out of the back of his head. Maybe that's why he's Tailbutt. They have a really good line here, though. Kind of woke, but it's like, what planet are you from, or what species are you? It's like, you're getting kind of personal. It's a little inappropriate,
Yeah.
don't you think?
Do we know how old Dal is?
Not
I guess
particularly.
like 13, but oh hey Rock.
It makes me
And a
laugh
bunch of
because all the
nobodies. Okay.
other times we have like translations going on. somebody could just be growling in like a deep tone, and we just have like a pleasant voice coming out of it. Because I really thought Rock Talk would have like an aggressive voice. Because the way the character was
stereotyping silicon-based life
a little
forms.
Yeah.
kind of big, yeah. They're kind of big. Oh, they're silicone based. That's cool.
Well, she's made of rocks, so I'm just assuming.
It's silicate. That's the most likely rock. Yeah.
Also, I think that she used the same stock sound effects for this voice as the mountain giants in Warcraft 3.
This reminds me a lot of the Voyager episode, when the whole planet's a factory and Janeway gets a boyfriend. Two-parter.
Right.
Workforce, part 1, part 2.
Where she forgets her identity and it's a whole thing.
A little bit. But in other words, like basically society is just organized around work. I mean, this is more grungy, but they live to work and they work to live.
So I think of
Yeah, that's what
Severance.
we
I'm
like.
so happy Severance season 2 is premiering this month. Oh man, that's been a long time coming.
Sorry, when you think about, like, we're in the age now where our smartphones are like live translating for us, like spoken basically. Although we've had written translation for a while. Like you could have a sign in a foreign country and just like it'll all be translated to you, picturally. And to go back to the time where you can't understand each other is kind of cool. I really like the subplot. There's even later on when the bad guys, because it's a real long episode, when the bad guys are all like,
Dal just hit a child. You can't do that.
yeah, this is why I thought there's no way this is our baby character, like the Teletubby of the show.
Also almost murdered a child.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, manslaughter.
I mean, on the same way though, Baby Yoda is 50 years old.
Yeah,
Grogu
they're
is
both dead. 100% they're both dead.
Yeah.
No, we don't know about Talk's species.
No, the amount of rock that fell straight onto them. I mean, Rock Talk, okay. Okay.
God, I wonder what phaser setting you would need to kill Rock Talk. If she can survive tons and tons of stone landing directly on her.
Yeah, it's true. It's like a tardigrade.
But then phasers can disintegrate rock.
Yeah, we see that in
Dal,
the
I'm not sure
Florida
you're
episode.
processing exactly what's going on here. You can't buy anything on this planet.
Yeah, but I assume if there's like a mining ship that comes by, you can like buy
Or
their...
a starship.
I love it. This is very Lord of the Rings, mining in the dwarf shafts
They delved just deep enough.
to find the mithril.
Whenever there's mithril in some fantasy game, like as an armor type, it's always the worst. Why? Like in Oblivion, mithril is absolute garbage. Why?
I think they failed to understand the lore.
It should be the highest tier of light armor.
You're right there. I think like we gotta
Yeah.
make like Daedric armor like more powerful than mithril.
Well, they were buried under rubble for a while, so probably not here, Dal.
I
Well, the crew aren't on
love-
this ship full stop. They didn't go with the ship.
No scorch marks. No
True,
battle in
true.
here.
I love this starship.
Yes, it is a
And
great design.
It's
Very sovereign.
mind blowing Mind-blowing design, yes. But even the cargo thing will hatch open in the front, like so kids can understand. Like, they're not gonna understand like 20 decks with astrometrics, but they can understand like a barge with a belly. But
Also, a
the other
lovely
thing I was
thing about being in space, nothing
Mhm.
gets dusty over time. It's just here. It's fine.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
And
true.
take note of that badge. It's comes up at the very end of the season.
Yeah, if
Or
you could
season
remember
2.
for like 2.5 months, that'd be great.
No, but the other thing I was gonna say though is this is the first time we have a starship class based exactly on an animated show. There's no live action, right? So you can design it
Cerberus?
without true. You can design it based on not worrying about the cameras. Where you're gonna put the cameras in front of the helm officer. So to me, this is like true art and form and architecture coming together.
No, now these both have to die. They formed a bond. You can't allow that. They're gonna work together to overthrow you.
It reminds me like a lot of cars, like they now like you're supposed to have as much glass as possible. Even the buses I ride in, I love the big windows.
Oh, hazy. So what you're saying is that this starship needs more knobs and dials, tactile controls.
I love it. This is from because we haven't heard of the Medusan since TOS.
Yeah.
So although Enterprise did do a good job of like showing us the Tholians in the worst way
How
possible.
did you build this, Zero? By being off screen, I guess.
The same way Tony Stark.
Oh, hey, Morn.
This is so messed up. By the way,
Just some
so this is
light murder.
Mm.
by the way, this is
You
pretty
get it?
dark.
Light murder.
Oh right. Some
Well, that depends if TOS is canon, Rock. He might.
They had the Medusan in a chest, which is pretty funny too. So the poor thing didn't have much of a life. In Star Trek Excalibur, which is a book series that was like pretty anticipated in the 90s, because new captain, new ship. The guy had purple
Eric.
eyes.
Is Derek supposed to be a child too?
He's like a teenager badass, yeah. That's a child to us, but obviously, yeah.
Because he,
That's a good observation,
we
Ryan.
see Tellarites later in the show, and they're tall, and they also have fully
Yeah,
grown tusks. And also, but
yeah,
this guy
yeah.
sounds like a grown man.
No, he's
How
more
old
like a
is
kid
Phantom
genius though.
Pog?
No, he's more like a kid genius though, because basically this whole thing is full of kids in the mine. But you're right. But like you said, the tusk is really small. He only has one, like a baby tooth. But you reminded me of I remember Power Rangers. The kids were all like good guys at a high school, but like there were two bullies in the high school who were the comic relief. He's kind of like that chubby bully.
Oh, per Nickelodeon, he is 16.
Okay, yeah.
So he's the oldest one of their group, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's shorter than everyone else. So, Teller writes,
Congratulations, you are being rescued.
Please do not resist. I feel like we still need another crew member.
I think we need to kidnap someone.
That's racist, Jenkum Hog. You can't call her that. I do like his hand, though. I always like a good robot hand. Guess kill him before he betrays you.
I'm glad we didn't enslave the kitten. But again, this is the same show that gave us drug-addicted soldiers in the Jem'Hadar, genetically engineered drug-addicted soldiers. So,
And we know that nothing too bad is going to happen to anybody, because this show is made for literal children.
like Nickelodeon's name is on top of the Star Trek. No, but again, it's very depressing to see like that kind of stuff for me. Actually,
Dal, you're just the worst.
also, this is the worst jailbreak ever. This is how kids would break out of jail. They're just like, by the way, this thing saves all of us because only it knows how to fire phasers.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Hello, welcome. Smart. Yes, that's the
Yes,
thing.
of course.
it's the nonverbal bag of jelly. It reminds me of
Well, you can see his brains.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
anyway.
Or his lack thereof.
So
I don't know if I would trust a species with a distributed nervous system like that. Oh, we are also officially in episode 2, if anyone had the split. Been in episode 2 for like 5 minutes. You see, there was no intermission. It's just, we're going.
Yeah.
No, you're kidding. That's the divider? I never knew that. I mean, I would have never guessed.
What?
I would have never guessed that that's the division of the episode because we didn't get any hint. Not even a black screen.
I think it was when they found the ship. It probably was the cut.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yes, kill him. No, Diviner's making a mistake here. If you want to kill Dal, just stab him.
We need
No
information.
You have a
The
bunch of
plan is
robots
to
with stabby
release-
robot tentacles. Come on.
No, the plan is to release him so he finds the Fugitive Zero. They're like sinister villains. They plot two steps ahead.
Is that the same Morn that got brainwiped?
Yeah, probably.
Wait, have they known each other before the interrogation?
Yes, they knew each other before the start of the show.
Okay.
Okay, the Morn thing is pushing the door with him. And he's like totally brain wiped by the Medusan.
That was basically the one friend she sort of has on this planet, on the rock.
So
Space
I know Ryan,
avalanche?
you haven't watched any of the Alien series movies.
That's not true. I saw the first like 30 or 45 minutes of the first Alien movie.
You need to like, make a bag of popcorn and have the dog sit on your lap and something and just like sit there for 2 hours. But the latest one, Alien Romulus, I recently watched it. It's very similar
Romulus.
motifs.
Alien
You're on a
Romulus
mining
is
planet.
without honor.
The company doesn't care about you, and your only hope is to try to escape the gravity, but that in itself is like, how are you going to do that? We've already failed at it once. By the way, escape velocity's a pretty tricky thing to figure out. You guys were laughing at the character before.
I mean, he has no context for what space is.
That's true. They're like
Yes.
getting off an asteroid, right? It's not really a planet.
An asteroid's escape velocity is like 1 mile per hour. It's
Yeah.
not that hard. The fun thing about gravity is it's the weakest force. And it only works so
Yeah.
well because things in space are really, really big.
Yeah. And nothing has
Yeah.
anti-gravity,
Yep.
so it doesn't cancel out.
Yeah. And it also
Job
operates
killer.
at a
She's working with the enemy.
the smaller the distance, the more the force is stronger. So it's a ridiculously strong force at like the atomic level, actually. It just becomes weak when you spread out.
This is one instance where I actually would not advocate for shooting her. Because she is working with the enemy, but you're also very far away, and I'm skeptical you could hit her from here. So probably best
They
to
don't
just
have guns either.
there are guns on the bridge. There's guns on the bridge of every Federation starship. They could totally have gotten a phaser.
If
Well, they
they
didn't
found
have a
them.
phaser, but they should have.
But they have a whole Clone Wars, like episode 1 army, those droids. Those rollerball, I really like
Droidicons.
I really like those circular droids that turn into a ball.
Droidicas.
Episode 1. Thank you. All right. I didn't know that.
Also called destroyer droids.
I feel like this is giving me those vibes. Oh, we're also going to steal a starship in the great
Yes.
tradition of Star Trek. Also, since they couldn't talk in language, this scene is hilarious. Because if you've ever tried to like non-verbally communicate with somebody, and it does wind up being that ridiculous. We're like, what were you flagellating your arms for? It's like, wasn't it obvious? And they totally got the opposite. of
Yo, yo, yo.
I love this scene because, like, you see, it's kids, so you have to make it an action thing. So you gotta have some like. It appears we're
I'm sure
fighting now.
Rock can take him. If Rock just grabs, a rock and starts flinging, she could probably take out some robots. No, Rock, tackle her. Rock, don't let her get a sword. Rock, you fool. Yeah, you can't actually hurt the giant rock monster. It's not, the sword's not going to help.
Yep.
I do have questions about how she managed to trip Rock, considering Rock's gonna like weigh a ton. So I would assume, like, remember that scene in
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars Episode 3 where Obi-Wan kicks a droid before remembering, oh yeah, it's made of metal.
Yeah.
And he just, like, breaks his leg. That's what I would expect. Wait, what's her name again? Gwyn to have done with Rock.
Bryn, yeah.
Also, I like that the Protostar does have the NX prefix, because it is a prototype.
Yep.
No, I love this because, like, okay,
Ooh,
you know,
volumetric smoke effects.
very Han Solo vibes going on because first you got to fix the ship. So they weren't even ready by the time when the enemy rolled up. And then now the shields aren't up even. So now you got to activate the shields. So we are just flying. This protostar is held by like bubble gum and duct tape and shoestring.
Why not the water?
Very cool. We never had a starship go through a waterfall before.
Was he gonna get wet?
And this inspires all the people, including the brain dead Morn.
I love the drama doing this.
Well, let's see. Thrusters, Jenkum. Phasers, Jenkum. Shields, very Jenkum. His job is, he doesn't have a job. All he does is sit there and be useless. He's not even really the captain because whenever he's giving orders, everybody ignores him anyway.
No, the
Doesn't do
diviner's
anything.
daughter winds up becoming the captain. I love it. Like the shield thing kind of got disappeared. You know, like it makes me wish I had a kid so I could just watch the show. Also Millennium Falcon, like turning the starship on its side to go through like a crevice in the geology. But actually for me, it brought me back to Aladdin because the animated film from 93, because in the magic carpet when they have to escape the Cave of Wonders, they have to turn the carpet on its side to get through a crack in the wall. Great adventure. This is what I'm trying to say. For a first episode, for a pilot, I thought it was a home run. Because you like the characters, you like the action sequences.
Yeah.
The science isn't too big brained. You know, like a 6-year-old kid could be like, all right, he has to put the thing to activate the shield.
All you need
I
to
get
know
that.
is spaceship go fast.
Yeah. And
And red robot bad.
Yep.
yeah. And if you're ever attacked by an evil AI, just squint your eyes and confuse it.
Robot, kill him. Why are you hesitating? Should have stabbed him when you had the chance. Yeah, Gwen's got a point. This doesn't look very survivable. Now that they're just spinning. I mean, spinning is a good trick, to be fair. But it's...
It kind of reminds me. Yay, we got the shield up.
Yeah, we never really see... Well, we see various depictions of how the shields work. So, like in TNG, we had the big bubble shields, which this would absolutely not have saved him. But we do occasionally have, like, skin-tight shields.
Mm-hmm. I think as the CGI got better, we got more skin tight shields.
Yeah, I still don't think that's going to help. I mean, it's a Federation starship with its shields up.
No,
okay,
but what
that'll
it does is it establishes that the bad guy, he cares more about the ship than the whole mining colony or his daughter even. It's
Yeah.
like, don't destroy my precious.
It's easier to destroy the Federation.
Murph, hit him with the pew 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 button. Murph, you were born for this or hatched for this. I don't know how Murph works. Mitosis for this.
This makes no sense, but the good thing is everybody's alive.
Thank God for auto targeting as well. This is why I maintain that Star Trek ships would beat Star Wars ships. The power difference doesn't matter if the Star Wars ships can't hit anything.
True.
Star Trek ships are computer aimed. Ooh, it's the title sequence nebula. All right, we did it. Congratulations, you're no longer a slave. Forward.
Second star to the right and straight until morning.
Thanks, Peter Pan.
That was clearly
That's
Captain
Kirk.
Kirk.
Yeah, Janeway.
Hi,
Kate
Kate.
Mulgrew.
Hey.
Long time no see.
She was an admiral in Nemesis.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
What year was that? Was that like 2006? 2004? 2000?
Kate Mulgrew really loves this show. As she should.
Must have been
Star
3.
Trek Nemesis was 2002.
22 years
So-
ago.
About 20 years since 20 years before this episode aired.
Yeah.
And even then, that was like a 1 minute, like, cameo.
Good job, man. You've been digging on this asteroid for well over a decade, and you failed at the last hurdle. Absolute worst diviner. Pathetic. All right,
I mean,
next
that is
mission.
exactly what Swear the
Star
other
Trek.
person just says to him, basically.
No, I love the action. I love that it was like kid size. That like there was nothing in. There was not so much technobabble, and I love the crystals. And when they found the chamber with the
They
protostar
could
in
have
it,
created a
There's not much
phased
technobabble
tachyon
at this
beam from
point.
the deflector
Wow,
dish
this
to
has been
move the
really
debris
good
out
so
of
far.
their way instead of using the phasers.
It's a great show. There's not much technobabble because the characters don't know any technobabble.
so
They
are we
refer
saying
to the
Ryan
phasers
about?
as the pew 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 button.
Yeah.
What were you saying about tachyons, Ryan?
Nonsense. I don't know.
Yeah.
Inverse tachyon beam deflector dish polaron phase discriminator. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Bounce a graviton particle beam off the main deflector dish.
Yes.
That was a good one. That deflector dish comes in real handy.
There's D. Bradley Baker.
Wait, I saw the name Ella Purnell. That's the Fallout lady. Is she
Yes,
playing?
she's in Fallout.
Is she
She's
Gwyn?
playing Gwyn. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Fallout and Jint.
I thought Gwyn was just played by a child.
John Noble.
No, Ella is a good voice actor.
John Noble. Who's John?
An
Oh,
actor in general.
John Noble, Denethor, son of Ecthelion.
Yes, John Noble is the diviner.
Oh, wow. He's a terrible father in every single show he's in. He's a terrible father in Lord of the Rings. He's a terrible father in The Boys. He's a terrible father in Prodigy. And those are the only things I've ever seen him in. All three things, 3 for 3. He's the anti-Pedro Pascal. Poor guy. Gets typecast as a monster.
He does play lots of villains.
Let's see, what else is he in? Because, yeah, I've only seen those 3.
There's lots of other big stuff he's in. I don't remember off the top of my head, though. And of course, I love the music in this show. Michael Giacchino.
Oh, he was in the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie that everyone hated. He was in an episode of Stargate SG-1.
Yes. Don't remember which one, but yes.
I don't know, but he played Merrick. Whatever. The Vidrage. Space madness. So I feel like it doesn't make sense that Hologram Janeway here is programmed to like give the ship over to a crew of cadets and they just run the ship themselves. But there is historical precedent in Star Trek, like the Spock's training ship was like that. There was also the Valiant, which was kind of like that.
Valiant?
Yeah. So I still don't think it's a good idea, but it does have precedent within Star Trek.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Voyager. The Voyager.
The Voyager. Hello there.
And she gets to do the read.
Defiant, Crossfields, Galaxy, Voyager, Constitution. 2 Constitutions.
I mean, retroactively, this is the best decision he makes in the entire show.
Because of the weapon?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess. I would totally have gone if I were him, but yeah, worked out. No, you literally can't. You don't know how to plot a course. You don't know how the ship works. Oh, I guess because he's been in a slave colony for his whole life, he's not aware of tropes, and he doesn't know that red equals bad. No, but then the robots are all have red evil eyes.
Only the big bad one.
It's not slavery so much as this indentured servitude.
They are one and the same.
It's definitely slavery. Indentured servitude. Hang on, are you implying like Dal took out a loan from the diviner and this is how he has to pay it back?
Maybe his parents did.
Remember the bit
Inherited
about
debt.
the Kazon kidnapping orphans throughout the sector to deliver them? Remember that part?
Mm-hmm. It's because their parents didn't pay up.
Okay, I have one complaint about the ship. You see here in the registry, well now it's off screen. The N is lowercase, but every other letter is uppercase.
Obviously, a child did that.
They've also got the ship logo, the badge logo, and that emblem rather than the main Federation logo.
Oh, so that's the kid Starfleet then.
I have seen at least one font where if you a capital letter is the smaller one, which is a bit strange.
They're bad fonts. All the other Space Madness. He said it. All the other letters in this font look fine. But they need to fix the N.
You know, most languages don't have majuscule and minuscule letters. It's just one. There's no reason to learn two alphabets. It's kind of stupid, actually.
It makes it easier to see sentence boundaries.
All right, then get rid of periods. I mean, in fairness, for most of human history, we didn't put periods at the end. They used the word "and" to signify a new clause. Usually the letter W in the Hebrew Arabic.
This is no way to start a relationship, Dal.
Say punctuation's a much later invention.
He doesn't care about his daughter; he just cares about the ship.
Right. I mean, at the end of the last episode, he wasn't worried about his daughter. He was way more worried about the ship. I like how he was plugged in. It reminds me of the Strange New Worlds episode when they have that innocent child that hooks up to a planet. And
Oh, he has
Magellan.
a mecha suit.
The planet Magellan, aka the British explorer that the Strait of Magellan is named after. First guy to circumnavigate the world.
See, he cares. He
That's
even
a
said daughter
side
instead of
point.
progeny.
Yeah, he mentioned the ship first, so his priority again is the ship.
Is the reason for the entire reason for his daughter is because if he dies, he wants someone to find the ship for him and to carry out the objective. It's all replicated.
It's a little suspicious that you're not familiar with replicators, cadets.
See, I like that she said we move past traditional currency because we do have nominal currency.
I don't know. Quartz? What is that? A
I
stew?
like this. Janeway is so affirming. Like, I feel bad for this generation of kids. They don't have Mr. Rogers growing up. So Kate Mulgrew is doing a good job. You know? Dream big, kid. Eat whatever you want.
Oh, They didn't find the officers' quarters.
Not yet. They do eventually.
Zero's an adult, right? As much as that
Yeah.
applies to non-corporeal
Sort
life
of.
forms.
Yeah.
Oh, there we
There
go.
you go.
He's
I
found it.
found it.
Although maybe 50,000 years is like one day for that species.
Still can.
Yep. Remember the part in the cell? What was up with the aiding and abetting slavery? What happened there, Gwen?
Hey, in her fairness,
Yeah.
she prevented the kitten and she told the Kazon not to bring more kittens. She's trying to mitigate the whole slave labor camp.
And feeding her the slop. Oh, look at the spoon. The spoon has a Starfleet logo on it. They love branding.
The Federation's all about branding.
I would bet that every self-sealing stem bolt on this ship has a little delta on it.
Unless it was sourced from Jake and Nog.
The No J Consortium?
Mm.
Did we make our way to the murder planet? Or is this like a hypergiant? Or is that a...
Seems very similar
Okay.
to a certain TNG episode.
Hmm.
Looks also very similar to a certain Lower Decks opening credit scene.
Yes.
But I'm quoting the original.
So there's a
If I
white
can
dwarf
just
that was.
make some use out of my astronomy education. So when this happens, big boom. Go. You should leave.
LOL,
Oh, this
what a
is-
rare and exciting way to meet our doom.
If you're
It's the
pulling
Type
so
1A,
much
right?
mass off one star into another, at some point you're going to have pulled too much and it's just going to explode.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
What is that, a Type B
Usually
supernova? There's
you-
like 4
you
types of
explode.
supernovas. I can never remember which is which.
This is the one they use as a standard candle, though, isn't it? Is it like it tends to happen at exactly the same mass?
Mm.
The bridge.
Good job, Starfleet.
There
Well,
should be a
sometimes you need that
divert
amount of
all
power.
but some power button.
There is. They just didn't find it. I didn't think about it.
Oh, so this ship is meant to be manned by at least 20 people, or what, 36 appendages? So
37 appendages.
we don't have 37 appendages among us. So
Including the escape pods, probably.
well, there's gonna be a
To be fair, if she'd taken a skateboard here, it wouldn't have ended very well for her.
Right.
Yeah.
a vehicle replicator is designed to explain away some inconsistencies in Star Trek Voyager.
Designed by Harry Kim in the year.
Wait, how much does it actually explain, though? I mean, if it they had one and it just never came up the whole show?
Correct. Don't worry
Or
about
they
it.
built
That's
one
a
and didn't
terrible
mention.
explanation.
Or they built one and didn't mention it.
Yeah.
It's exactly the way that they built all those photon torpedoes and shuttlecraft and the second Delta Flyer.
Yeah.
The vehicle replicator replicates vehicles. That is why it is called a vehicle replicator.
Yeah,
Would you
I was
like
gonna
to
say-
know more?
A vehicle replicator, Dal. She just said that.
And so they shut down all non-essential power, but
No, she diverted it back to the state. Or the ship did it automatically.
Rock, you can't call her that. Well, now it's only 15% complete. Does it update for damage mid-fabrication? I hope so. Yeah, this is way faster
being
than
inside
the
a
build on
replicator
Voyager.
doesn't seem like a good idea.
Oh yeah, no, this feels like suicide. Is it 90% complete? Rock just smashed half of it.
Yeah, like a bull in a china shop.
The thing that almost every cipher gets told about disabling artificial gravity is that it would do nothing. There's no force that pushes you upwards.
Yeah, everyone always just goes into the center of the room, vertically speaking.
Like, I get it when they disable it while people are running. That makes a bit more sense
Yeah.
when you start floating upwards, but, you know.
Also, in this case, Rock was actively lunging toward Gwyn. Like, Rock was in the air
Yeah.
mid-tackle and just stopped her forward momentum and went up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, classic Janeway. Wait, those systems
Do you
are
still
related?
use that Janeway mug, Ryan?
I still have it. I don't really use it.
Okay. Can I buy it from you for like $50?
No.
Okay.
I'm sure they're available online somewhere.
True. No, I was trying to support the channel. You had to wait forever for that Janeway mug. I felt so bad for you.
I mean, it's just a cup. It's not that big a deal. Also, it's not even that high quality a cup.
Yeah, you
It's
were very
fine.
disappointed with the quality. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, that Voyager documentary that we were talking about years ago still hasn't come out, and every single email that they send out progress, which is very infrequent, says nothing.
Maybe they were just selling Janeway mugs, like low quality Janeway mugs.
I'm less convinced that this Voyager documentary exists than the Section 31 movie.
Yeah. And, you know, they made such a big deal about like acquiring the rights from Paramount to like use the footage of the show. You know, any clips that they had of Janeway barking orders. It was gonna be the most legit production ever.
Like consistency of Janeway just not moving at all, struggling because she's a hologram.
Let's see. Searching my email, the last update I got was July 16th. Saying, well, nothing. Just linking to their YouTube channel. We did it. We did not get murdered by the Nova. Or commit suicide by Nova. I guess it's not the Nova's fault.
She helped him, the diviner's daughter.
Well, I mean, she was gonna die too, shuttle or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why aren't you in the
And then she
captain's
got back
suite?
in the brig, which shows she's like a good prisoner. I really liked it because, you know, having a ragtag crew as your set of heroes, you know, I feel like La Serena did a good job of that too. And like this Janeway hologram isn't too particular about if they're actual Starfleet crew members, because normally a hologram is also a security feature. You have to convince the hologram that you're like legit.
Yeah, I'm not Hollow Janeway. She's into it.
Yeah, well,
She's on
she
board.
says that her only job is to make sure the lowest functions of the ship are working, which I assume is power, or that giant
Typical
star.
Starfleet cybersecurity. No checks. They don't have to input
There's
a
also, like-
password or nothing.
There's also a mini star underneath the hood, which is also, by the way, pretty brilliant. Like this show is just meant to be a Nickelodeon show, but for them to push the frontiers of science and say one day we're going to be harnessing the powers of mini stars on our starships, pretty radical. I like it.
Entire colony was a big ship. Fascinating.
Then
See,
what were you
says
mining
he's
for?
coming
The
for
most
her.
evil-looking ship in existence.
He's not coming for the ship. He's coming for her.
Yeah.
Sure,
He's
whatever
gonna
you say.
save her from these miscreants. All right, so next episode is Dreamcatcher. So what do I even remember about the rest of this season? I remember they go back to the prison at some point. There's the planet of Starfleet of Star Trek fans.
Borg Cube appears and assimilates it.
I remember something about the Borg, but I don't remember what actually happened. I remember very little of this season, actually, come to think of it. There's an episode that's like a holodeck adventure thing, and Zero has a library in it. It's a mystery thing. I don't remember. What I do know is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. So it looks like the Voyager documentary, they had some sort of premiere in November, but like a limited backer premiere, so it's not actually out. I don't know what's going on with them. So anyway, how about that weather?
It's raining.
Nice.
Did get some snow last night as well, which is nice.
I appreciate that these title sequences aren't nearly as long as Old Trek. They're still a little long, but they trimmed it down quite a bit. Also, that's a very nice warp effect.
Mm.
Okay, so I found one more update about the Voyager documentary, which is in a comment on their Indiegogo page, which is we don't have, this was 1 month ago, we don't have a release date yet, but expect the Blu-rays to be delivered in the earlier part of 2025.
What Indiegogo was that?
The Star Trek Voyager documentary that they've been working on for like 4 years and have made it's gone extremely slowly.
Oh. Star Trek Voyager documentary, huh? Interesting.
Okay. Oh my
Yes,
gosh,
it's not exactly as if you're in a show where issues are part of the thing that has to happen.
As soon as you start messing around with Starfleet, your life's just gonna go. Also, I should blur the screen instead of showing the info page.
The Hirogen system.
Hirogen. The Hirogen have a system?
They have a system at the moment, like.
Oh, so okay, the Hirogen system. By that, there's no actual Hirogen here.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a dangerous place to go. Maybe take a left, go to the other star system.
Oh.
Why would you want to get off the ship? There's replicators here. There's holodecks. Though I'm not sure how the Diviner will even find them. I mean, they're in space now. They went to warp. Is that a triple moon system, or are we seeing multiple planets in the distance? Oh, okay, this is an evil planet.
Yes.
Yeah, it is triple moons.
You can never trust a planet that has something protruding beyond the atmosphere. It's always nefarious. See, those rock arches, those are evil arches.
There is something nefarious.
The waterfalls off of them as well.
Also, I think that's the Vasquez rocks painted green.
Yeah, they put a lot of Vasquez rocks into this as reference.
Those arches are very Utah as well.
Yes, it has one singular landing gear.
It's like, well, you would design in Space Engineers.
Like, it's still a Western, even though we're an animated series, you're still using Western landscapes. Because American cinema just grew up on that.
You've not shown yourself to be capable of being friends right now anyway.
Feels like the same circumstances to me, Gwen.
Yeah.
Oh no, is this a fart joke? Yes, yes it is.
Yeah. Phasers.
Branded
How many more
phaser.
episodes do we
Yeah.
have?
Today, that's it.
Maybe we should give them some training with the phaser. Can we? Like
Run
the
away.
Worf Guinan program where they try to
No,
shoot.
I know that this show has a science advisor and stuff is great. Though ion propulsion in reality has no practical usage on planets. Because it's incredibly low thrust.
Does rock fit?
Why would the hologram even need a seat? They could just be like projecting standing because they're not affected by inertia. Just have a holo projector inside the thing, right?
I mean, you don't even need a holo projector. You just need a Wi-Fi connection for her to talk through the speakers.
Yeah.
Sure.
What does Janeway need with a
You'll
seat?
be able to do.
What does Janeway need with a seat?
What the fuck?
Jim, you
Means
don't
with a
ask the
start.
hologram for its ID.
Jenkum is the only
Oh yes, I
intelligent
remember
one.
this planet now.
You'd never step foot on an alien planet without your astronaut suit.
I remember what happens on this planet now, even though it's been a while since I've watched.
All right, I may be back later if you guys are still here. I don't know.
Okay.
Later.
Is there air here? You don't know.
I would hope that Janeway wouldn't have let them leave the ship. Hopefully she scanned it. God, how much power does Janeway have? Look at how evil this planet... You see, you can't trust these planets.
And it's a planet that literally wants you to stay there by any means necessary.
I would hope that Janeway would take off and head back to Federation space.
I'd be fine with that if Janeway just left. No, you all have to leave the ship. You totally need some shore leave. There's some fascinating samples to explore, and there's a spa. You guys should leave of the ship. Does this count as failing safe?
No. Maybe.
It's failing safe for the prisoners, but not for the crew. Also, is she gonna play she's gonna murder Murph? Rude. Oh my god, Janeway. Janeway, can you go corporeal for a second and, like, pull out a phaser?
Unfortunately, not in her programming.
Oh my god, Dal. See what I mean?
Beam her
Wordless.
back to the brig.
Apparently you have to let her take the ship. You have no power here, Janeway the Red.
It's funny because she used to do that to the doctor all the time. Turn off the hologram, change his bedside manner.
Gwen, maybe you should just take off. Make sure they can't get back on board. You know how to operate the ship.
Yes, I made a maze for you. A maze that wasn't here 5 seconds ago.
All these smoke effects, they have a different style than the rest of the show. Everything else is hand animated. These are like stock volumetric effects. Is this a shore leave planet?
Yeah, well, sort of.
Is this one of those procedurally generated vacation planets?
No, it's more psychedelic.
Shinko, you fool! Wait, what? No!
Yeah, he puts himself in it.
Why would you do this?
How is smelling in the spacesuit?
Apparently the suits aren't sealed.
Don't worry about it.
Maybe they have air ventilation modes. Like you can, like in a car, you can turn on recirculate air, or you can just bring in air from the outside.
Or a gas mask. You just put it. It's really just a piece of charcoal between the ventilator, and you're just breathing filtered air.
Are these hedges getting taller?
No, I'm not sure why you would think that at all. Definitely not.
Yeah, it seems legit.
Very Harry Potter-esque, though. The vines and the hedges you gotta run from.
Yeah, this seems legit.
Speaking of Harry Potter,
Wow, his parents that he hasn't known since he was a baby. They're here. Also, I'm pretty sure that's not what his parents would have looked like, because I think
Definitely not.
she's the planet.
Yes.
See, it's a mutually beneficial planet. You get everything you could ever want, and they get... Don't worry about what they get. Yeah, I feel like we need to get the Zindi over here. Just destroy the planet. It's a lost cause. I wonder if it would be adequate to just destroy the surface of the planet. Because, like, even the original Enterprise could destroy, like, down to the mantle with all its torpedoes.
Yeah, that is true.
We could just destroy the surface and just let the planet re-evolve into something.
Really, to the
less murdery.
mantle? I think like it could torch the
They
atmosphere.
said they could destroy the crust.
Okay,
Declare
yeah.
exterminatus.
Yeah, I knew we could just like burn the atmosphere. But like, do you remember when the Borg scooped out the Earth? That was like pretty horrific. Like,
Lucky for the crew.
No, leave, you fool! You're gonna get grabbed by the murder vines. Fortunately for them, there's only like 5 minutes left in the runtime, so this can't be too big of a problem. Yeah, just leave. Okay, yes, good thing you brought the car. Also, I like that you can see the particle effect system behind the leaves. You can like see them exploding out of the points of the emitters. I really like being able to see like the technical details and things like that.
you do 3D animation, Ryan?
Well, no. But I do some hobbyist game design where you can use particle systems.
Okay.
I remember a long time ago when the that Slender game came out, where you had to find the pages in the forest. One of the first things I said was, "Ooh, look, particle effects!" As you walked around, there would be little bits of smoke around. Particle systems.
You know, I grew up in the era of like PlayStation 1. You know,
Yeah, we didn't do
Sony
particle
Dreamcatcher.
systems back in PlayStation 1.
Yeah. So we didn't have that. What we had was polygons. And I remember like noting how the polygons got like more polygonal with each iteration from like, you know, Sega Dreamcast to PlayStation 1. So I was watching TNG season 1 a couple of days ago. And the silicone avatar is so polygonal, but they did an amazing job of making you think it's like a crystalline structure. But looking at it now, it's like lame polygons. But for the time, it was like mind blowing. Yeah, but if you couldn't count the triangles sticking out of like a shape, that meant it was like really, that was a high 3D effect. And so,
Yeah, I can't even
like
see how many polygons are on this guy. What's the point of this
unfortunately,
animation? Come on.
unfortunately. So,
Also, really fun was the era where video game characters' faces were just a picture of somebody's face pasted onto a sphere. Why did we stop doing that? It's all sliders now.
Omicron was bad for that.
ew, her name's Gwendala?
Yeah.
Ew.
Ew, what do you mean, ew? What's wrong with Gwendala? Don't worry, Dal. It's already prepped and ready to
Yeah.
go. It's all good. Well, she got sick of people saying to prepare. Prepare to move out. Prepare to go. Just go. How did the vines get into the system? Isn't there a hull? What happened?
Oh.
Did she try firing phasers to like cut the vines off? Does the shuttle have phasers? Oh my god, Gwen, speed up! See, it actually was a bigger problem, because this is actually a 2-part episode. Oh, right, this is the character growth 2-parter. Because we needed some way to get Gwen on board.
Gwendolyn.
Yep.
In the metaphorical sense. She was already on board in the literal sense.
Like, you can see she has a love interest in the hero. Aw, look, she saves the dog.
What? You can't call him that.
He's the pet. He's the one who stays on the ship.
Murph's not a pet. Murph's security. Murph's a person. It's just made of goo.
Didn't Janeway say, I'll stay on the ship with...
Yes, Murph will keep her company, but Murph is still a sentient being.
Sorry. I'm just, have a bias against gelatinous structures.
How do you feel about Captain Baudet?
I can see the back of his skull. It unnerves me every time.
Oh, we did actually see in some Galamites in lower decks, by the way, if you didn't catch
we
them.
did.
And they're very scary looking. They're monster people.
I wouldn't let my girlfriend near them either.
You wouldn't let her what?
Like, Worf is jealous because he's so handsome.
Look, if your girlfriend wants to hang out with a Galamite, that's her business. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. On the episode with a very reassuring name, Terror Firma. Terror Firma. This is probably fine.
Meaning hard terror.
It just means firm ground, that's all.
No, but terra firma would be firm ground.
Terror.
That's terror.
Right. Oh, yes, of course, yeah.
It's firmest, yeah.
Scary ground.
It's not wrong.
No, it's other one. Firm terror. Firm, yeah.
I think does terror come from Tyrannus, which is Greek for terrible? So Tyrannus is
Terror just means ground, that's what it means.
Yeah.
no, we're not terror.
Okay, from now on,
terror.
for the duration of this episode, please please refer to it as terror.
That's true. It's like saying horror. Yeah.
Because the way you pronounce horror in at least in a California
from
accent,
Latin.
it sounds like you're saying something else. Because you drop
They're
the
all French,
OR at
in
the
fact.
end.
and Latin. Yeah.
Yeah, Little Shop of Horrors always sound a little bit different.
A horror movie.
Latin into French into English.
Is a compound fracture the one where it's like sticking out of your leg?
I think that would be like two bones are
Yes.
broken or fractured.
Yes, no, I looked it up to make sure. A compound fracture is a bone fracture that accompanies a break in the skin, causing the broken ends of the bone to come in contact with the outside environment.
Ouch.
So she's got bone bits, which I doubt we're going to see, sticking out of her skin.
And you said two ends, so it's like there's the two bones.
Well, it used to be one bone. Janeway, can you fire phasers? Do you? It's interesting that this show... Wait. Oh my god, she has a delta. Anyway. It's interesting that this show has a little bit of continuity with the shuttle that Gwyn took is the one that Rocktog destroyed when they were fighting. Which, you can't do that in Star Trek. Bringing things between episodes. It wasn't even part of the two-parter. Okay, no, a helping hand is not going to make it easier for her to stand. Her bones are sticking out of her leg. Oh, we're totally not... That's not even a I can't even see any bone. Come on. Also, Rock, you should carry her.
This is my kids show.
You
That's
can't
not to
tell
say
me
that narration is kids show. It's actually what it was a Nickelodeon.
They could show... They don't have to show the gore, but they could show, like, white bones sticking out. A little bit. Come on. Oh, subtitles. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, no, we should definitely kill this planet. I really want the Xindi weapon here. No, Zero, it's a hallucinogen planet, remember?
Yep.
They weren't already No weapons. So Janeway does have power to do stuff, it's just that she wasn't before.
Self-destruct.
Okay, maybe don't think, what would Janeway do?
You know,
Use the Janeway protocol.
I was trying to...
We're using all our energy on a containment system. Just shut that down, save some power.
And end up with a star in this planet.
Worth it. We destroy the murder planet. And...
Drink coffee?
Actually,
Murder a hybrid crew member, delete someone's wife?
I think it might be for the best that we just detonate the protostar. This ship causes no end of problems.
True.
It's got a
But then we
Federation
murder some
destroying weapon
people.
on board. It's involved in time travel shenanigans that again nearly destroy the Federation. It's just blow it up.
So I was watching because every time we go on these live streams, I've been kind of dissing TNG season 1 a little bit, just like
Demote
laughing
Ensign
about
Kim.
how the actors wanted to jump ship, probably not just Tasha Yar. And having said that, there is something clearly magical to TNG early seasons. That's why we all got hooked to the show, even if no one remembers the plot details or cares. There's certain plot points that are just like grows the characters and lets you love them. Data lore when we have Data's off switch and all that. So
I still cannot tell you what happens in We'll Always Have Paris. I don't have a single idea.
So the thing is, Tasha Yar, she says that Dr. Noonien Soong was the Federation's most preeminent computer scientist, and he achieved Asimov's dream of a positronic brain. So Asimov wrote about robots, right? Because remember, TNG's early sci-fi, well, middle sci-fi. So Asimov's whole thing about robots was you can program them like you shall never hurt a human.
Yeah.
But like after, if your other directives are you have to save human life whenever possible, then if you have to kill like 3 miners to save 10 miners, you may have to close the door on 3 miners. So
Yes.
at some point, the robot will like be able to outgrow his or her programming. And I feel like that's what this Janeway hologram is doing.
Isn't that pretty much what all the Asimov stories are about? Like,
I mean, the Foundation, sorry,
three
the
laws going
iRobot
wrong.
series is
Yeah.
literally that there's a zeroth law of robotics founded because the other 3 exist.
By
I.e.,
the
you can't
iRobot series, do
actually
you mean
define it.
iRobot with Will Smith?
No.
Oh.
We're talking books written in the
And
50s.
I mean
Alan
the books.
Tudyk?
As I recall, the credits for that movie didn't even try to say it was based on anything. I think it was suggested by the work by Isaac Asimov. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't
But
even
I'm happy
claim
we've
it
got
was based
Foundation
on.
now.
It was actually source material. So, like, we read it and we thought of a thing.
Well, I'm happy we've got Foundation, which is great. It's different to the books, but they change it in a good way.
And I started Foundation. There's something about the sort of math mysticism that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. It seemed well made.
Yeah, there is something
There's a
about
little bit of humanity
centuries
has
of-
evolved. To
Yeah.
an extent, has now got special powers, but
I'm sorry, what?
it's generally good.
So we're talking about Foundation, which is
There's
show that we haven't seen.
there's a character who has powers to connect to the future and things like that.
There's some
high
premonitions of the
aspirated.
future. There's like certain people who are more psychic than others that they can see the future.
And there is some psychic abilities and things like that.
Well, the funny thing is though, like math, the main hero, he says math can help him predict the future on a macro scale, like when galactic empires rise
Yes,
and fall.
that's literally that's the foundation of the books.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying is there's a level of mysticism there too, because he believes in the math.
And
That's
I
all he
would
keeps
like
saying.
to note real quick that Dal was trying to eat Gok with a spoon. It's a bad plan.
Thank you, Ryan. That's a faux pas if you ever go to Kronos.
It's also just not going to work. It's going to crawl
think-
out.
So this guy was a tourist in Italy, and he tried putting ice cubes in the wine, and the waiter like slapped it out of his hand and it's like, no, you're not drinking that. I don't care. And then eating spaghetti with his hands or something, and people are like with a spoon, or pizza with a fork.
Can't eat spaghetti with a spoon. It doesn't work.
They would take the plate out of his table and be like, "You're not gonna do this. We don't disrespect food here like that." But do you like your gach served live, Ryan?
You know, I've never eaten a worm. I don't feel particularly inclined to.
Would you ever have the octopus tentacles that they eat in Korea? I think that'd be the closest thing we have to gach, because the whole thing is it's supposed to wiggle on your way down, and there's like
I have two. I have two objections. One, I don't want to eat food that's still moving, even if yes, it's technically dead. It's just reacting. The neurons are reacting to salt or whatever. That's still really creepy. But two,
it hasn't died.
Octopus in particular are too smart for me to feel comfortable eating.
Oh, true. Yeah, it's a sentient animal. It's highly
I don't know
intelligent.
where the cutoff is, but somewhere before octopus.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. My thing is, though, I kind of like that there's a non-zero chance that the tentacle is gonna activate in my throat and I'm gonna die of like asphyxiation, because the dead thing that I'm eating is still wiggling.
Oh, we should do the thing that Edward did from The Trouble with Edward. We should engineer a species that we lobotomize just genetically. So they're just basically vegetables. Oh my god, you've been saying that for 20 kilometers. Rock, you can probably take him. No, if you're on their side, what you do is you go walk next to him, like, yes, we have done it, well done, and then you stab it. Yes, leave her. Murder Planet saved them. I'm not quite sure how her heirloom works. Can she just will it to reform around her leg real quick?
Eventually, maybe, but it's damaged at the moment.
It's turned off.
I know she gets it back. Or she gets A1 anyway.
So this machine really looks like Terminator at this point. It's kind of nice.
Also, as we learn
Lord
in
of the
season
Rings.
2, oh god, it is. Oh, this is such a ripoff of Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, it is.
As we learned in season 2, they also gave that robot a new paint job to make it look more evil.
Yes.
That was a really nice homage to the Lord of the Rings. All we needed was horses, black horses, and the Wraith theme.
No, don't you remember? That was actually Azog the Defiler's theme from The Hobbit.
Okay.
I cannot believe they reused the same song for an orc.
There we go. She fixed it.
All right. Super easy.
So when you grow up in a cult, you have to call your dad our diviner.
We did it. Also, Gwen, maybe you should reform the thing around your leg. Remember what you were doing a couple scenes ago? All right.
She's having to use it to fight.
But she wasn't in the last shot. In the last shot,
And
she
this
was
is where
away.
True. And this is where she sees that he doesn't actually care about her. And that changes everything.
Oh, I
You
like
also
this.
could
You know
have
why?
saved her by now, dude.
Yeah. If he loved, remember all that BS about we're the last of our race? He really did. This is a great character arc.
Yeah, Denethor absolutely would have chosen the ship over Faramir. Classic John Noble. So is he dead? Because he doesn't have a ship. He doesn't have a way off, right?
He would get beamed to his ship, presumably.
Well, they can just beam... If we're going to beam people, yeah, just beam Gwyn onto the Protostar. Super easy. Or we could use a rope, I guess. Interesting choice to make it look like Rock is struggling. But Rock is crazy strong. It would be zero issue for her to lift everybody.
So it's interesting. It's around 6th grade or so, but at some point you stop going to school for your parents and teachers, and you go to school for your friends. So I feel like Gwendala, she's figured that out. Oh yeah, Janeway's evil now, right?
Is she? I know Gwyn reset her. I vaguely remember Janeway going evil at some point. Yeah, this might be.
Okay, maybe it's a leader.
Oh, now we need to learn about the proto drive, presumably.
Yes.
Because Janeway was like, I don't know this system. It's a big ship. Okay, now I have a complaint for Starfleet. This is a secret prototype. Why would you name it that? Name it something innocuous. The USS normal ship.
It's like calling the Prometheus the USS Quantum Slipstream. So, your villainous father is kind of a villain. I hate to break it to you.
Though critically, she was only tipped off to his villainy when he went against her not the fact that
Right.
he was running a slave
Yes.
camp for her whole life.
I
Or
mean, she
slavery,
was
or slavery.
indoctrinated by him to think that was fine.
Look, she was born in a power structure. She was trying to make it the best that she could. She also let this hero go on 1 or 2 occasions. So she's like Odo, okay? You can judge him all you want, but I don't see you keeping order in a concentration camp.
Remember the episode where Rom started a union? And Odo was like, God, I wish Captain Sisko would let me break up the strikers.
Okay. So he's the anti-communist fascist for sure. Okay. I take it back.
Turns out they're faster. Yeah. Okay, just leave. Just stay at Proto Warp or whatever for a few minutes and you'll be fine. As long as Gwyn doesn't tell them where you went again. Should be all good.
We'll see what happens in the next 5 episodes.
Yes. So, next week, Kobayashi Maru, which is the cameo episode.
Yep, and training and everything, and we see that he's not a great captain.
Yes. Which, I mean, we already knew. Anyway, but for Kobayashi Maru... Oh! Is there something we should count as well? For this series?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that. Do we want to count something?
Cameos?
The references to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, we
I'm
can
trying to
just do
remember if there's
references would be fine.
Like,
do
cinematic references.
do people vary? Trying to remember, does someone vary in what names they call someone?
What?
Like, nicknames for people might be a good one.
Times they say the name of the show.
Is it that often?
I mean, he said Prodigy several times for it. No, Progeny was what he said.
Yes.
There's not said that much, the actual name Prodigy.
How many times we see Janeway hologram?
Oh, sorry, Protostar.
Yeah, Protostar's the ship.
I don't know. Leave suggestions in Discord and then maybe I'll go back through and do some retroactive counting.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, chat.
Okay. Oh, wait. The other episodes. First Contact. Which one is that? Some crystal planet. There's a Ferengi in there somewhere. Time Amok, which is that the one where Rock is stuck in time? Yeah. And then a Moral Star where we go back to Tarzan.
We learn about the... Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
then
that's
learn
next
about
week.
the issue, I think.
But we're done with Terror Firma. Okay, bye.
How do you roll?